Do you want to hear something insane? 9 out of 10 business owners set up their Google ad campaigns the wrong way, costing them thousands of dollars in wasted ad spend. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set it up the right way so that any beginner can get their ads to become a money printing machine. And it won't just work for you, it's worked for thousands of other business owners that I have personally helped. I've showed them how to avoid falling for Google's so-called recommended settings, or as I have actually labeled them, Google gotchas, which are really just money wasting traps and the reason why so many people fail. And to make sure this is just 10 times easier for you, I've actually made you a guide with all of these Google gotchas in a really handy PDF. So check it out in the link below. Make sure you download it so that you've got it with you all the time. Ready? Let's dive in. So in this video, I'm essentially going to walk you through the easy step-by-step process of setting up a Google search campaign, making sure you do it the right way. But make sure you pay special attention to each step closely, since there are Google gotchas throughout the entire campaign setup process. Some are obvious, others not so obvious. And before we get started, you are going to need to know the URL of your landing page. All right, let's go dive into a screen share right now, and I'm going to walk you through this setup process. So here we are in our active Google ad account, and what we're going to do is we're going to click this plus blue button, which is we're going to be creating a new campaign. So the first thing we are going to need to do is to choose a campaign objective. Now you might think, particularly if you're an e-com store, that you want to choose sales, or if you're a lead generation business that you want to choose leads. So controversially, I'm going to suggest that you choose this last one here, which is to create a campaign without any guidance. And this is because you want all the available settings available to you, as if you choose some of these other ones, it's going to be a bit limited. So we're going to choose that one. And here is where we select the campaign type, be it search, performance max, demand gen, etc. So the purpose of this video is to show you how to create a search campaign. I'm going to assume that you have already set up your conversion tracking. So I'm going to skip over this part for now, and that will enable you to track the success of this campaign. Then we click continue. We're just going to say website visits. It doesn't really matter. I can put in my business, teachtraffic.com, and then click continue. And then we've got to give our campaign a name. So I'm just going to call it search, and I'm going to say teach traffic. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be bidding on keywords and sending people to this page, which is our online membership, teaching people how to run Google ad campaigns and Facebook ad campaigns. So obviously I'm going to be bidding on keywords for people who want to learn Google ads, who want to learn Facebook ads, who want to learn Google Analytics, etc. So you'll see here on the left, this is sort of the steps that I'm going to go through. Now, for your bidding, this is actually really, really important. And if you've got a new campaign or a new ad account, I'm going to suggest that you do manual CPC bidding. I actually have a whole video on how to manage your bid strategies. I'll put a link in the description to it. I definitely suggest that you watch that video probably after you set up the campaign in this video, because it's going to walk you through the whole bidding process that we do. Unfortunately, at this startup process here, we're quite limited in what we can choose for our bidding, like the manual CPC option, which is what I suggest you start with, isn't available here. So we're going to have to change it at the end of this campaign creation process. And so make sure you stay through to the end, because I'm going to show you how to do that. So we'll just leave this as is for now. And I'm going to leave that unchecked for now. So this is a very sneaky setting by Google, as I mentioned before, with one of the Google gotchas. So we want to deselect the display network, and we want to deselect search partners. I actually find there's a lot of spam with search partners. So I deselect both, which means that this will be a search network only campaign. As I mentioned before, I'll put a link in the description to our gotcha guide where you can download all these little sneaky settings. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to keep going. This is where I'm going to choose location targeting. I'm in Australia, so I'll just select Australia, but you would put in your location that you want to select. If you want to go narrower than either a country or a city, you can select here, select another location, and you can type the locations in here, or you can click advanced search, and you can even do like radius targeting. So here is where we do the radius targeting if we wanted. So we click on radius here, and I might type in, let's say, Bondi Beach, and this will do a 20-mile radius around Bondi Beach. So if you want to do radius targeting, that's the way you do it. Otherwise, you can just type in a location here, or you can type it in there. I'm also going to suggest that you change this setting to be this particular option. This is another Google gotcha, because this is going to go beyond your location targeting that you select because of this option here of who's shown interest in your included location. So we don't want that. So definitely select that one. We're going to leave it as English. I'm not going to add in any audience segments for now. I'm going to turn off, so because I don't want to use broad match for my entire campaign. I'm going to have that off as well. Let's just select more of these options. Add rotation, so we can leave that as is, and all the other options are fine. Okay. Now it's going to help me generate my ad. No thanks, Google. So I'm actually going to skip this because I want to create it myself. So here is when I'm going to give my ad group a name. So I'm going to say maybe Google Ads Tutorial. Okay, and I generally like to name my ad groups whatever kind of like are my keywords. So I am going to scroll down here, and I'm going to actually put in keywords that I want. So I want phrase match type, so Google Ads Tutorial. And obviously, as mentioned, I'm trying to get in front of people who want to learn Google Ads because I'm sending them here to a page where that is going to teach them how to do that. So I might say Google Ads Training. And make sure you keep very tightly themed keyword ad groups, okay? Because you want your ad to be a match to the group of keywords that you have here. Okay, so I'll just leave these two for now, obviously, just for the purpose of moving on from this video, but you can add in as many as you deem to be relevant. You don't need to add in every possible variation, so I wouldn't need to add in tutorial for Google Ads, for example. The phrase match type will pick up those variations. Okay. Scrolling down here, and here is where we are going to write our ad. So here is where I'm going to grab the landing page, which is the training sign up page, and I'm going to say Google Ads Tutorial. Now this URL you'll see here is going to populate here, the display path, and this URL does not need to exist. It's just to populate the ad so it adds more keywords into it. Okay, so I don't want calls, and here is where I can put in my headlines. Interesting, these funny that they've picked up from the page. So here is where I'm going to write in my ads. Google Ads Tutorials, and I can put in, and obviously it's got a character limit of 30 characters, so step-by-step video tutorials. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill in these headlines. So I've gone ahead and filled in some headlines, so Google Ads Tutorials, step-by-step video tutorials, etc. Now you have the option to add in up to 15 different headlines, of which Google is going to choose 3, and then they will sort of rotate through. So you can see in this preview here, it's sort of scrolling through all the different possible headlines, and we can sort of skip through to see how they read. Note, like, Google's going to try and get you to add in all the possible 15 headlines by this ad strength being average here. Don't be fooled by this. I find if I add in more headlines, the ad kind of doesn't really read very well. So I actually err on the side of less headlines than more, and just note that your ad strength score here really has no reflection on performance. Okay, so fill in as many as you deem to be applicable, and I put in 2 descriptions here as well, and obviously they're up to 90 characters, and you can see them up here as well. So fill in those for your business. You can also add image extensions, but for the purpose of this video, I won't be adding it, and you can add in your name. So I'm going to call it Teach Traffic, and that's my logo, which is good. And I've got some account level site links, but that's beyond the scope of this video. So really, we are done in creating our ad, and then we can click next. Here is where we need to assign a budget. I'm just going to leave it at $10, but obviously you change it to whatever budget that you want. And then we're going to click next. And here it's asking me to review all my settings. So that's what I've called it. Search campaign, my bidding that I'm going to have to change, and everything looks good. So I'm going to publish this campaign, and then I'm going to show you how to change that bid strategy. Okay, so now it says my ad groups are under review. That can take like a day or 2. But if we go to this campaign here, you can see I've got my campaign and I've got my ad group that I've just created here. So what I want to do is I want to go to my campaign settings, and I'm going to show you how to change this bid strategy. Bidding here, I want to change bid strategy, and I want to check this button, this link, which is change bid strategy, and I'm going to do manual CPC bidding, and then I'm going to click save. Now, when I go back into my campaign, it's a bit of a glitch. I've got to refresh this. And then you're probably going to have to change your bid, because the default bid is 1 cent. So you can either change it at the ad group level, which means that bid will be applied to the same bid will be applied to all the keywords, or you need to change your bids at the keyword level. So you just simply click on the pencil, and maybe we just do $1. It's asking me to confirm that because it's a large increase, and that's how you can change your bids that way. Don't forget, watch that bidding video of mine, because that's going to walk you through how to really manage your whole bid strategy, which is something in of itself. One thing I also want to show you is we want to add negative keywords. So we go into this ad group and we go into the negative keywords, and here is where we're going to add our negative keywords to ensure that our ads don't show up for the wrong type of term. So we can either add in new ones here, or we can get our negative keyword list that we have from other campaigns and apply that automatically. So I've got a generic negative keyword list. I'm just going to add it here and then click save. And then I've got negative keywords so that I don't show up for irrelevant search terms. So there you have it. That's how easy it is to set up your Google search campaign. Once again, make sure you download our free Google Ad Gotcha Guide here, so you can be sure that you don't fall for all the money wasting mistakes. If you like this video, don't forget, hit that thumbs icon and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.